Hello, everyone.
Good evening.
Welcome to Shitcast. Now, tonight we're going to be talking about a new horror film. Not so new now, but it's been in the last couple of months, and that film's name is Longlegs. Now, if you have seen our Psycho 2 review, you'll notice we're big fans of Anthony Perkins,
Mm-hmm.
and subsequently, we are also now big fans of his son, Osgood. Osgood Perkins has written and directed this film, Longlegs. He did a film beforehand that I watched called, well, over here it's called February. It's actually, over in America, it's called The Black Coat's Daughter. I didn't actually think much of it when I watched it because I think I was half watching it. And I'll watch it again. No disrespect to him. It was me being
He's
distracted.
starting out though. He was just
He's finding his legs.
finding his feet.
And he was also an actor before he was a director. He was in Never Been Kissed with Drew Barrymore.
When we saw the preview for this when it first came out, we were very, very excited.
Best marketing since Blair Witch, in my opinion.
Is it scary being a lady FBI agent?
Yeah. Take a nice long look. A letter was left with the bodies. Signed with one word.
I saw a beast rise up out of the sea with 7 heads and 10 horns. And on his horns he wore 10 crowns. And on each head was written a blasphemous name.
What aren't you telling me?
He'll kill and kill again.
I know you're not afraid of a little bit of dark. Because you are the dark.
Do you still say your prayers?
Never once. They scared me. Hello?
You could have made nice with me. But you didn't. And that has led to all of this. I'll be waiting.
Like this black veiled creature, and you could just barely see white eyes behind the veil. And I could get goosebumps right now.
He has a thing about white eyes
Can't
and
stand it.
yellow eyes. Yeah.
Oh, man. And I was like, this is the film that's going to screw me up most this year. And I wasn't wrong.
Blissfully, the trailer didn't give anything away.
Nothing.
All it did was intrigue and build anticipation for this movie. And we were both going, oh, I really hope, just because we like Osgood Perkins, we're like, oh, please, I hope this is good. And boy, did he deliver.
I would say I would put him in the league of Mike Flanagan and James Wan, and just as a new master of horror.
Yeah, Alfred Hitchcock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knows how to get under your skin. Someone asked me at work what this film is like. I said if you took the world of Silence of the Lambs and threw it into the town of Twin Peaks, then you're pretty much getting what this film is about.
Yeah.
And they watched this film and they were freaked out. They had to turn it off.
Really?
That's true, yeah. They had to turn it off, and because it was just too freaky. Even his wife was just like, "No, this is hardcore. So basically, what Longlegs is about. Longlegs is the name of a character in the film, and we won't say too much about that. But it's about this series of murders that have been happening for decades, and they seem to have a ritualistic bent to them. They're very macabre. What it is one member of the family will murder the other members of their family, and and kill themselves as well in the process.
For no rhyme or reason. They're
it's just a
perfectly
random.
happy families. No reason to suspect that they would ever do anything like that.
And the FBI, who is the main characters in this, have no clues, but there comes a sort of a breakthrough in the case, and they get a young FBI agent played by Micah Monroe. What was her name in the film?
Her name was Lee Harker.
Lee Harker, yeah. Which, great last name.
Absolutely stellar performance.
She plays, we're watching it. We know neurodivergent people. We have them in our family and things like that. And she plays the most honest portrayal of a neurodivergent person I've ever seen on film. And every thing she was doing was very meticulous and thought out and particular.
But she was also socially awkward and required alone time and got overwhelmed in crowds, but was able to mask it in the way that neurodivergent people do. It was just a beautiful representation.
And I don't think she's getting as much credit, or the writing of that character is getting as much credit, because everyone's going on about the horror, and there is a lot of horror in this film. If you are, as I mentioned, Flanagan fan, if you loved Haunting of Hill House and you were watching that film show and looking for the ghosts in the background and things like that, you're going to love this because goosebumps again. There is imagery in this film that you go, what the, oh, yeah. We saw it at the cinema on the big screen, and there was just shots that I'm just thinking, I don't want to see this ever again. This is fundamental horror.
The reviews for this movie have been interesting. It's kind of been a mixed bag. After we saw it, we were expecting it was going to be like knock out of the park. Everyone was going to love it, but it's kind of been half and half. And a lot of people have been saying it's too slow.
Not relatable characters.
Not relatable characters. It takes too long to get anywhere.
And
it
criticise
has
her.
a weird ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they criticise her, and I'm thinking it's such a nuanced performance.
Yeah.
It's actually, to me, it's Academy Award.
Yeah. I agree.
Consideration performance. I mean, I think she's phenomenal.
Yeah.
In this film.
I'm not going to lie, it is a slow burn of a movie, but it's a slow burn like a Hitchcock movie.
Or a Carpenter film.
Or a Carpenter film. Yeah, it's for us, the tension just ramped up.
It was like Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
It was
exactly
literally
like that.
Watching that is like you're thinking, oh, how bad is this going to get?
Yeah.
And then it just gets worse and worse. And it gets to the point where
that feeling of dread.
The tension level's up here, and you're just going, yeah, I don't know if I can take this much more.
Yeah.
And then the endings happen, and there's a couple of endings there. It is one. It's one coherent story, but there's a couple of things that happen that are like in a normal film. Both these things happening would be the end of things, but he goes on.
Yeah.
And Osgood just knows how to ratchet that tension. And I mean, the performance of the movie, I mean, Micah Monroe, notwithstanding, is Nicolas Cage.
Oh my God.
I've never seen him as good.
Yeah.
I was
probably the best performance he's ever done. And the cinematography helps a lot in this movie. There is, I won't give it away, but there's a scene early on where you're introduced to his character.
And that's the first shot in the film, isn't it? Yeah.
And the way that the camera is held, you can't quite see everything. Consequently, it's
it gives you the biggest jump scare I think I've had in
It's
cinema.
terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying, and it's just
And the sound
simply
design.
because of the way they hold the camera and the sound design, and of course Nicolas Cage's performance. He's mesmerizing in this movie.
Unnerving. And
yeah,
I mean, it's Nicolas Cage. If Marilyn Manson got into his brain
yeah,
and scrambled it and then became Nicolas Cage again.
and then had a whole pile of plastic surgery
Yeah.
for
He
lols.
he does stuff in this film that truly shocks you. I mean, I don't get shocked easy. I'm pretty much, I'd sit there watching like jump scares and I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, cool. But and she's even worse. Like you can't even jump scare in real life. But this film made me jump out of my socks, and it wasn't for the fact of the boom or anything like that. It's actually just sheer movement
Yeah,
and things like that. It's just like there's one scene I'm just like hands on my mouth going,
yeah,
what is going on?
yeah.
It's
No stereotypical jump scares in this movie. Everything is well thought out.
it's purposeful.
Very purposeful.
He has you in the palm of his hand.
Yeah.
He doesn't let you go until the end credits.
Everything about this movie is fantastic. We're talking about the cinematography is fantastic. The sound design is fantastic. The acting's fantastic. The set design is luscious.
Because it's set in the 80s, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a beautiful movie. Every place they go into is gorgeous. The outside is gorgeous. Everything's just
It's
a joy to look at.
It's a feast for every sense of your body.
Yeah.
It's a tactile film. And, I mean, the rest of the cast is amazing. Alicia Witt.
Yeah, which I haven't seen in a long time. I was so happy to see her again in the movie. She was a
friggin'
90s horror queen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Urban Legend Joe.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jamie Banks.
Lovely to see her again, and she does a really great job in this movie.
Blair Underwood was
Yeah.
absolutely surprising as hell. I mean, I used to watch LA Law.
Yeah.
I thought he was a great actor back in
Yeah.
the day, but he faded away almost into obscurity. And then he comes into this and it's like, man, where has this guy been? He needs more roles.
Yeah, he didn't have a huge character, but the
He did everything.
it was so many layers to his character, so many layers to every character if you're paying attention, which it disappoints me that people are saying this movie is slow.
I would watch this film two, 3 times
it's like
again.
Slow in the sense that, there's not a lot of action for a while, but if you can just lean back and let the sense of dread overtake you and pay attention to what's going on around you and pay attention to what the characters are doing, sure, you can't help but love this movie.
I mean, it's definitely not a teenager's Friday night popcorn movie.
You've got to pay attention to this one.
It's an adult's horror film. But at the same time, it's not pretentious like you'd get in a Ari Aster or Robert Eggers film. It's very palatable, and accessible. But at the same time, it makes you think.
Yeah. And it's clearly a bit of a love letter to Psycho and Anthony Perkins as well. Not that it steals from that movie, but there are little beats, little camera movements, lighting choices, some sound choices that are clearly an homage to Psycho and beautifully utilised every time.
I mean, Osgood has got a huge career ahead of him. He's already doing another horror film, The Monkey's Paw, which is a Stephen King adaptation. I'm like,
can't wait.
Whoa, Stephen King and Osgood Perkins? Yeah, that might be better, as good as a collaboration as Mike Flanagan and Stephen King, which would be very hard to do. But it is his year. I mean, my favourite horror film of the year has been Late Night with the Devil. I still hold that tiers above everything else. This is a contender as best horror film of the year. And I didn't think anything would beat Late Night with the Devil. But
Yeah.
yeah, I've got to see this a couple of more times.
Yeah, I don't think it beats Late Night with the Devil because it was such a unique movie. I mean, Longlegs is a unique movie as well, but
It's in the top 3 for sure.
yeah. All I would ask is for those who have seen the movie and maybe didn't watch it to the end or watched it and were disappointed by the ending or a bit confused or a bit bored, give it a second try. Just think about all of the things that we've been saying and just go in and give it a second shot. And hopefully you'll come out thinking differently because we really think this is a winner.
And if you don't, at least you've seen a good film twice.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's okay if you don't like it, but you really do need to give it a try because I think as you're saying, Osgood Perkins is on the up and up.
He is. Okay, so with this one, this is a review. So what do you give this out of 10?
God, I can't give it a 10, I don't think, but I'd give it a 9.5. It's pretty close. There are elements of the ending that weren't 100% satisfactory for me, but
we detest like Wes Anderson films and pretentious cinema.
yes,
So it got a little
bit,
arty, but without being pretentious.
yeah.
But it tweaked our noses a little bit. I would agree, 9.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go see this movie, guys.
Yes. Or when it comes out on video on demand, watch it in the dark by yourself if you can, or with a loved one.
Yep.
And just immerse yourself. You know, no interruptions. Turn your phone off. Just watch this film. I mean, it reminds me. I saw Silence of the Lambs at the cinema by myself, no other people in the audience.
Yeah.
And we had a few people in our audience, and I felt alone in the movie, watching the movie. That's how good it was.
If you can watch Silence of the Lambs and enjoy that, if you can watch Psycho and enjoy that, then you can watch this movie and enjoy it if you just give it a try.
Yes. Okay, on that note,
We shall say goodnight.
okay, stay hydrated,
And remember, leggings are not pants.
even if you got long legs.